ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to Okunola Academy. Today we are going to be looking at a topic that says converting data into graphs or into visuals or your stylized facts using Excel. And as usual, we have lined up this subtopic. Briefly, we're going to look at how you enter your data into Excel. We have actually entered our data so that you'll see it by the time we'll start with the practice. Then two, we'll ensure that you choose the data type or the type of data you want to visualize, and from there you decide whether you want an individual visual or you want a group visual of the item you must have entered into your Excel. And thereafter, you're going to decide also on the appropriate graph or visual. By this will mean you're going to determine whether you're going to use a line visual or you're going to use a bar chart or an histogram or a pie chart, as the case may be. So what we're going to do briefly, we're going to do a demonstration using Excel as well. However, before we get there, this is just an example of what our data visualization will look like after we have done it. The essence of using Excel practically is that it is more robust to give you a sample of the series of graph designs depending on the data you have entered into it, unlike using the conventional analytical software. Likewise, Excel will allow you to choose or decide your column or what you want your data that you have entered into to look like. So for instance, we have the line graph. This is for group data. We're going to do a demonstration of that very soon. Then this is of course a column graph, which shows the different data, as it were, per the number of years. And this is an example of individual graph, whereby it is also a line graph. So quickly, we're going to go to our data. So briefly, let's open our Excel. This is our Excel. These are Excel data, and we can see we have from 1991, you go down up to 2021, as the case may be, and the variable names are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I, J. Now, looking at the data from 1991, you see that we need to determine, as we said, whether we are dealing with numbers or we are dealing with a general figure, or we are dealing with currencies, or we are dealing with percentage, as the case may be. So you need first and foremost to determine that, because once you key in your data, you need to specify whether you're actually dealing with the general data or you're dealing with numbering. So to quickly do that, you can see here that if you come over here, you see that these represent numbers. They represent numbers. So you can quickly decide to choose if you have entered this as a percentage or as a currency, or as you want it to be a general figure that you have entered. From here, you can determine that. So you have the general number, which gives you no specific format, and the number which we currently have, and so on and so forth. So from here, you determine that as well. Likewise, you determine whether you want this to be in 2 decimal places, or you want it to be in 1 decimal places, or you simply want to do away with this decimal point. For example, if you click here, now if you reduce, you now come here, you see decrease decimal. If I decide to decrease, you can see that has changed. But because of this practice, we are going to leave it as it were, basically. So this is our data. I recall that we said you have to decide whether you want to do an individual visual plot or you want to do a group visual plot. To explain that quickly, I'm just going to copy this. You can actually come this way, hold your mouse and pick it, or you can at the same time come here and just do the page selection. Then you do what is known as the copy. You come here, this is copy, you copy, then you can put here, open another sheet, then you paste your data. The essence why we have done this because we want to do a practical example for group data and for individual data. For instance, like this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 5 rows, 5 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can as well create the 5 column here so that you can allow you to do your individual visuals for each of the data. Having said that, so let's come back to this place. Since we are doing a group, let me just click out a group visual first. So we highlight this, we bring it down from here, and we'll stop here. Then after doing that, we hover to what is known as insert. We want to insert our graph. So you click insert. Now here, once you click the insert, you have the options of several graphs depending on the nature of the variables. This is column, this is line, this is pie chart, as the case may be. However, I often recommend that we simply just choose the system recommended visual format. As we can see, the system has brought us a series of recommended series of recommended chart, as the case may be. Now, this is line chart that talks about the trend depending on the data you are looking at and depending on your emphasis. If your emphasis is on the trend, then you choose this particular chart because it tells you what the trend of your variable looks like over the period that you are specified. Excuse me. Now going forward, this is a stack chart or stack visuals. Basically, a stack tells you about the relationship that subsists between the variables that you are trying to visualize. As you can see, from here to here tells you the level at which these variables relate among each other. So that's about that. Then the next one tells you about the column, whereby you see by here each of the variables, their trend over time, in a cluster column, as the case may be. Then this is also a star column, whereby you get to understand the relationship of each of the variables here. However, because before we go there, if your variable is percentage that you need a pie chart, you can see that not all the different types of charts or visuals are displayed here. All you need to do is just to come here, see all charts. Here it gives you ample opportunity to also pick different kind of format of a particular visual you want to display. For instance, we have chosen this. If you choose this, we see that it has changed. If you choose this, it calls it as change. If you choose this, also it has changed. Likewise, if we come to line, you say that this just shows the trend. This will now indicate the point by point of the trend over time, as the case may be. So this gives you also ample time to decide which of the style of the particular visual you have chosen that you choose. All you need to do is once you click here, you either double click or you just simply say OK. So voila. Here is our chart. As we see here, you can drag, and as we are seeing it here, there are other formatting that we can do so that we can now from here copy and paste in our document. Quick one is you can double click or you simply click it and it brings you format and design. From the design aspect, you can come here, you can see there are various designs that are available depending on the style you want. So you are at liberty to choose the design you want. So wait a minute. Wait a minute. Return it back to its original state. Okay, so we're here. So we can decide to choose this. You can see that the visual has changed its format. Likewise, if you want to reduce, you can either reduce from here, click format, come and reduce the length, the height rather. So whatever size you want, then you reduce the length as well. Now, take note that the reduction also reduces or intermittently gives you a jump the number of years that is here. So if you want to explain this, it might be pretty hard that you have to skip the years. So all you need to do here is just to click here and reduce the font size. So you do that, you can press your shift key and your control, then you press your less than key, so automatically it reduces, and you can see that you have it on a yearly basis. Or this chart type, you can also reduce it in order for you to have a clearer visual, as the case may be. You can do that for all of these. Then here, all you need to do if you don't want this line to show is just simply click on the line, then come to shape outline and say load line. You can see that this has gone. So from here you can now copy and paste on your Word document or your PowerPoint, as the case may be. So this is what we have done. So we hope we've been able to put you through on how to convert your data into graph, or how to visualize your data using visual plot and stylized fact. So thank you for listening. Please subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and please leave your comment. Thank you.